No time for nature, even though you've been hearing that getting outside a little bit every day has really great benefits for your mental and physical well being. Well, I'm here to offer a few hints and many practices over the next few weeks that can hopefully make it feel a little less daunting about where you can find these little seeds of time and space in your day to enjoy the benefits of being outside with nature. My first tip is find a place that's pretty easy for you to get to. It doesn't have to be pristine wilderness, it doesn't have to be a grand destination. I happen to have a backyard with trees in it, so I have a couple favorite trees that are my go to places. And so, if you can find either something in a yard or on your porch, maybe a plant or a park that you pass by every day, here's the thing, it works whatever the plant or creature or tree is that you're going to spend time with, which is really cool. And I'm going to lead you through a little practice, and you can elongate it when you do it yourself, and you can also shorten it. It'll take about maybe 6 minutes or so, and it's a really handy thing to have in your back pocket as you go through your week. When I do this, I close my eyes, and I'm leaning on my tree here to keep you steady. You can open your eyes at any time if you start to feel unsteady, or you can do this seated or lying on the ground is fine too. And why do I do that? Well, we live very visually dominant in mainstream society. And so when we close our eyes, it really helps us shift into experiencing our other senses a little more fully. So you're going to see me talking with my eyes closed. And so that's what that's about. And this is the other cool thing. There's no fancy breathing required. You just breathe however it feels good. And I like to start with the sense of touch, because touch brings us immediately and viscerally out of our thinking and maybe what's been going on today. And so I just begin with touching my tree and the bark and holding on and feeling textures. Okay? And wherever you are, this could be maybe reaching down to the ground. It could be touching your face, like touching your arm, touching a rock. If you're pretty sure it's not a poisonous plant, which most are not, you can reach out and touch a leaf. And giving yourself a non-rushed, spacious experience of that tactile sensation. What do you notice with your sense of touch? And then without rushing, and if you're able to have your eyes still closed, shifting to your nose. Breathing in through your nose and just noticing the sense of the environment you're in. My nose is noticing the air is very dry because it's super blustery here today in Eastern Washington. That's why I'm wearing my hat, even though it's springtime. I'm noticing the freshness. I can smell the old trees and leaves above me. And don't overthink it. If you can notice things and name them, great. And if naming gets in the way of your relaxation, no problem. It's really just about basking in the sense. And then from our nose, we'll shift into our mouth. Taste. Yes, we can enjoy taste in nature. Maybe you're noticing whatever you last had to drink or eat. So for me, I'm noticing I just had some water before I came out here. And if you feel into it, you can even let the air come in to your mouth and noticing that. Down the road, when we have kind of more advanced practices, we'll actually do tasting with things in nature. But for now, we'll just keep it real simple. And then we'll shift to our ears and our hearing sense. If you happen to be someone whose hearing works differently, is impaired, you can also work with vibration. And we notice what sounds arrive in every direction around us, right? Like not just in front of us, but really start to get curious about all the sounds around you. So I'm noticing the breeze, how it's shifting in all the branches, swirling, coming and going. And I'm not hearing any birds, so that's telling me, oh, it's midday, they're not around right now. I hear a car. So it's really just letting the ears notice that whole symphony of sound around you. And then if you've had a reason you had to open your eyes, no big deal. Maybe close them again. And after you've really just taken your time with each of your other senses, we slowly let our eyes open. And something really cool usually happens, which is there'll be that little moment of freshness of, oh, wow, things are brighter, or I can see color with a little bit more sharpness. And so there's a really neat thing that happens if you kind of spend that time with your other senses, with your eyes closed, and then at the end, open your eyes and just enjoy seeing. Okay. Enjoy colors, textures you notice, and you can scan your surroundings in a gentle way. Maybe there's one plant being or tree or squirrel if you're in a park that you can just really attend to with curiosity. And that practice is a real simple thing to do. And the way that you can integrate it into a normal, full life is to, we're not going to be following rules. We're not going to be punitive with ourselves. We're not going to be harshing on ourselves. We're not going to be like tracking in a logbook. Like this is real gentle seeding, okay? And just kind of think a little bit about where might you have 5 or 10 minutes in your day? Maybe it's when you're first out of bed. Maybe it's like one thing I often do after school pickup or before is I'll be like, okay, instead of looking at the news for 5 minutes, I could use those 5 minutes to step outside my car and just kind of quickly find a flower or a tree nearby. It can be that simple. Maybe you go to the gym. Did you know that taking a few minutes outside of the gym, looking at the sky and the clouds is just as important as what happens inside the gym in some ways? So little works. It doesn't have to be a 3-hour destination to a perfect forest. Okay? And so just kind of start getting curious with your day and see where you can kind of drop that little mini practice in and explore it. And if you're feeling like you'd like a little bit more support with these little practices, check out my links in my channel description. And I have a weekly newsletter that goes out that has a weekly practice. Okay, see you later. Bye.